So, today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea, something that's all about creating real personal change. We're talking about manifesting a better life. Let's get right into it.
You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. That sense that there's just something more out there for us, but it feels like it's just out of reach. It's such a common feeling. But what if there was a way, a practical framework to help you close that gap between where you are right now and where you really truly want to be?
And that framework? Well, a lot of people call it manifestation. Now, it's a popular idea for sure, but sometimes it can feel a little, I don't know, a little fuzzy, right? So, our whole goal here is to cut through the noise and turn this into something you can actually use. So, let's start with a really clear definition. Okay, so when you boil it all down, manifestation is really about getting things aligned. It's this idea that your inner world, what you think, what you believe, can have a direct impact on your outer world. But, and this is the important part, only when you pair it with actual deliberate action. So this isn't just about wishing on a star and hoping for the best, it's about setting your destination and then actually getting in the driver's seat. So, how does this actually work, in the real world? Well, we can break it down into a super simple three-step process. Think of this as your how-to guide for taking an idea that's just in your head and making it a reality you can touch and feel. The whole thing really stands on three key pillars: getting clear, visualizing it, and then taking action. Each one of these steps builds on the last, and together they create this really powerful momentum. Let's break down each one and see how you can make it work for you. First up, we've got clarity. And look, this is probably the most important step of them all. I mean, think about it. You can't hit a target you can't even see, right? Saying something like, I just want to be happy is a nice thought, but it's not a target. But saying, I want to find a job that lets me use my creative skills and work from home 3 days a week, now that is specific. The real key here is to get crystal clear on the what before you ever worry about the how. So once you know exactly what you want, you move on to visualization. And this is more than just making a mental movie. It's about feeling it. What emotions pop up when you imagine you already have that thing? Is it joy, relief, a sense of pride? Connecting with that feeling is so important because it's like you're training your brain and your body to recognize that goal as something that's totally possible, something familiar. And here we go. This is the step that brings it all into the real world. Action. Manifestation is not a sit on the couch and wait kind of deal. It's a partnership. Once you're clear on your goal and you're emotionally connected to it, you'll start to notice things. Opportunities you might have missed before. Maybe it's an email, a conversation, a random idea that pops in your head. Taking inspired action just means you act on these little nudges that feel right, that feel like they're moving you closer to your goal. Okay, so those three steps are like a powerful engine, but an engine needs fuel, right? And the fuel for this entire process, well, that's your mindset. Without the right beliefs running in the background, this whole thing can grind to a halt before it even gets started. You know, our minds can kind of go down two different tracks. On one side, you have those limiting beliefs, that quiet little voice whispering that you're not good enough or that your big dream is just impossible. But on the other side, you can have empowering beliefs that are like your own personal cheerleader. And these aren't just thoughts that come and go. They're the stories we tell ourselves that literally shape what we think is possible. The real work starts when we learn to catch those limiting beliefs and consciously, intentionally shift them to something that empowers us. So, how do we actually build that empowering mindset? Well, it really starts with a few simple daily practices. Things like gratitude, for instance. It just shifts your focus from what's missing to what you already have. And challenging that negative self-talk, that just means when you hear that limiting voice, you question it. You ask, is that really true? And of course, surrounding yourself with positivity, whether it's people or books or just your environment, that helps reinforce this new, more powerful way of thinking. As we start to wrap this up, you can see it's really about bringing two big pieces together. It's the meeting point of your inner world, your thoughts and intentions, and your outer world of action. You really can't have one without the other. I love this because it just says it all, doesn't it? Think of it like this. All that inner work, getting clear, visualizing, building an empowering mindset, that's like programming the destination into your GPS. It sets the course. But you still have to get in the car and actually drive. Your actions are what move you down the road. So we'll end on this. This is a question for you to really think about. The whole idea behind manifestation is that you are not just a passenger in your own life. You are an active creator. It puts the power to build your reality right back into your own hands. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with it?